category is me. Yes! I swear, if I had a show like this, I would want the soundtrack to be just like this, or music that I genuinely love, such as the music they play on the show. I swear, y'all, the songs they is playing is just taking me back to a time and a place. Like it's me. It's what I grew up on. I grew up on 70s and 80s R&B music, R&B soul music, pop music. And of course, as I got older, I ventured into the 90s and the 2000s naturally. My favorite era of R&B is the 90s, by the way. But the 80s definitely was incredible as well. And it, holds a special place in my heart. And the music is just, I'm just really getting my life. Before I begin this video, I want to say I've been criticized in the past a little bit on my channel about singing in every single video, because I used to do like guess the song or whatever, and I'll still do it from time to time, but I've kind of cut it out a little bit. But with this particular episode, I'm probably gonna sing a little bit because it's taking me back to a place. This episode, the music and everything, it just reminded me of things, so I'm just gonna naturally talk about it because it's just who I am. So hopefully y'all don't mind a few tunes or whatever to go along with the review, darling. I'm simply just being myself and giving what I give, darling. Okay, so this is Pose, child. Alright, and this is a Christmas episode, which is kind of weird because I'm like, damn, it's early for Christmas. But I guess, hell, it is what it is. It'll soon be July. So, hell, Christmas in July, darling. Christmas with the cranks. Okay. So, anyway, let's just get straight into it. Okay. So, the episode began with, what's his name? Parcell, the DJ, the MC, the category is him, I love him. If I was on this show, I would love to play that role, that character. But anyway, so it began with the category of Butch Queen, darling. And this is men walking the category. Kind of feminine men or whatever, but they're men. They're actual biological men or whatever most of the time. But they playing it up and giving Butch Queen. Them kids at the club that they seem like they trade. They seem like they thugs until Beyonce record come on. Then they just lose their mind and just break out with a single ladies dance. Yeah, them. So anyway, and it was the category was high class, Butch Queen's high class, and furs, darling, furs everywhere. Some of them had on some ugly furs, but they was dipping it and doing it. So a new member of this cast and a new member to the ballroom scene is Ricky. We met Ricky last week. Ricky is Damon's man, the little street hustler he found that came up to him after the show, after Blanca's victory over Elektra. And he came up to him, kind of wooed him a little bit, and so Damon is kind of feeling him or whatever. His plan is to get him into his house of Evangelista, darling. So anyway, this is Ricky's first ball, and he's actually, walking the ball. He went to go get a fur. I loved his fur. His fur was nasty, child. So he walked, and he became runner-up. So after that, they met up, meaning Blanca, Ricky, and Damon. They met up, and had a conversation. That, like I said, Damon's trying to get Ricky into the house of Evangelista. And Blanca is kind of side-eyeing him. The house mother, she's kind of side-eyeing him, be like, what's your real intentions with trying to be in the house, and your real intentions with Damon? Because Ricky he's a hustler, straight up. Blanca asked him, where the hell you get that fur, because I know you ain't got no money. He said, well, I mopped it, which means that he stole it. He told me he gonna return it back. How you gonna return something back you stole, sis? How does that work? So she was just like, I don't have that in my house. You need to be on the straight and narrow. You need to find something positive and productive to do with your life. And, I'm not feeling that. I'm not the kind of house mother just let you do whatever. You going to act right in my house or your ass can step. Straight like that. I was just like, yes, Blanca, yes. Blanca's a good house mother. My God. So they had a scene with Partel, I believe I'm saying his name right, the DJ, the MC, and the dance instructor. I think her name is Helen, something like that. Damon's dance instructor, who is the dance instructor of the academy that he dances at. But anyway, they went to a hospital. We found out that they both went to go see HIV patients. She went to go see her old student. He went to go see his boyfriend. Petrell's boyfriend is in the hospital. He has HIV, and it was a tough scene to watch. Definitely, the AIDS thing in the 80s was rampant. Like everybody, was just like dropping like flies, and it was terrible to see. He's sitting there talking to his boyfriend and. He was just like, one day I'm up, next day I'm down, and whoop to whoop. I don't think Petrell has HIV, or at least they haven't talked about it yet. Hopefully he don't get it, because it's just going to break my heart down, darling. I go through so many emotions watching this show, I swear. It just gives me complete everything in life. So then Helena, the lady, she went over there to talk to her student. He's up dancing. He has on... a gown, the patient's gowns or whatever at the doctor's office, and you can tell that he had possibly like used the bathroom on himself. It was dirty and maybe throw up as well, and he was just up dancing, and you can tell he was a little out of his head. She walked up to him and tried to grab his hand. He snatched away and ripped the IV out of his arm. And then she called the nurse to come in there, and the nurse had to come and contain him. I guess he's a little out of it. And then he's sitting there laying in the bed, and he's asking her, "Well, how did I get here? What happened?" Like he don't even remember anything. And she's rubbing his head and making him feel good. And then it cut to another scene. So I was just like, oh God, this is just so sad. They showed a scene where, first of all, they are planning on walking in this big ball, which is like the snowball, Christmas ball or whatever. A Christmas realness, darling. It's the Gunny category. And so Blanca, she meets up with Petrell. Petrell, he's not only the MC of the balls, he is also a clothing designer, and a lot of the kids go to him for advice, fatherly advice. He's so like inspirational, and they also go to him for garments, darling, because he's a clothing designer, so he's really good too. So he's designing Blanca's Christmas outfit. They started to talk. Petrell is one of those people that's like me. I kind of like the attention off of me. Sometimes, like if I'm really going through something, I kind of don't really talk about it to people like that. And I feel like his character, I feel like he's the same way. He wants to divert the attention off of him because he don't really want to dig deep into that emotion. So they went to sit down on the couch because she asked, "How is your boyfriend doing?" And then of course he revealed he didn't want to talk about it at first, but then he was like, he has HIV. He was like, he's had so many boyfriends, that have passed away from HIV, and he's like, it's just like to the point now, it's like, should I even try to get in a relationship with anybody, because you just never know when somebody's gonna go, and that's just such a sad like reality to even think that way, but it's real life and it's true tea. And it's still a thing to this day. If it's not HIV, is something. It's always something going on. I've always heard growing up, as long as you live on this world, as long as you are alive, you're gonna have something, meaning it's gonna be some kind of illness to sneak up on you. So hey, I mean, hell, I have polycythemia, which is basically my body produces too many red blood cells, and I have to have a pint of blood taken out. I was diagnosed with this at like 14. I have to have a pint of blood taken out every so often, because if not, I could possibly have a stroke. But the side effects of it is that I have headaches, terrible headaches a lot. And now I'm in the process of trying to lose weight. I'm on this little diet thing. Headaches have increased to the max. I have really bad cramps in my legs to the point where terrible. But I know it's all due mainly like to my blood or whatever. So it's a whole moment. But anyway, getting back to the show. So yeah, I was feeling it. Petrel, he also revealed that he has nowhere to go for Christmas. So Blanca was just like, child, you're not going to be stuck in no movie theater eating salty ass popcorn on Christmas time. You're going to come over to my house and we're going to celebrate and have moments. There's no... I feel like nobody deserves to be alone on Christmas at Thanksgiving. Halloween is okay, just lock your doors because the goobs and goblins outside anyway, child. You don't want to let them in. But yeah, badass kids taking all my candy. Anyway, I said 2 pieces. Y'all done took the whole bucket of candy on my porch. Oh, okay. Next thing I'm putting in there is a bucket full of shit. Okay. Anyway, I went on a little tangent moment, darling. But y'all know this how I do. So, anyway, they started to talk, and he says, Blanca, have you told your kids that you have HIV? She was just like, no, and I'm not going to tell them because that's going to deter them from, being their great self, because then they are gonna, just be focused on me and doing me and stuff, and that's, I want them to be great. Blanca is definitely more nurturing and more of the ideal mother of what you want a mother to be, more so than Elektra is. But Elektra, she's a very complex character. There's a lot of layers to her. There's a reason why she is, this heifer. To be honest with you. There's definitely a reason. So yeah, we'll get into that. Let's see what else is going on. So, Angel, child. So Angel, where do I want to go? I'm just gonna do story by story. I think that's the best way to go with these, because otherwise this video's never going to end. So I'm going to go story by story with these. Okay, so going from that. Okay, so Damon, he's a dancer. So Damon is teaching everybody, they have to rehearse for the ball, darling, for the ball. And, they're doing their thing. The little Latina boy in the crew in the house of Evangelista, he can't quite get the dance moves. He's cute as a button, though. All of them are attractive. He can't quite get the moves, but he'll work it out. Angel and Ricky, not Angel and Ricky, they're doing their thing. So Damon, he goes to rehearsal, the actual dance rehearsal with the Helena lady, and if I'm messing up these names, by the way, y'all tell me in the comments, please. So anyway, he gets to class late. He arrives late. They're in mid-practice. She stops him. She was just like, what the hell you doing? What you doing? You can't be coming up in my class late. Now, mind you, Helena was upset. She had an attitude because she had just got word that her student that she went to go see in the hospital, he had passed away, unfortunately. Ugh, terrible. So, she was in her feelings. So he arrived late, just kind of kicked it off. She had enough. So he walked in there late. She was just like, why are you late? I let you into this academy on a whim, and you're lucky to be here. And he was just like, I'm sorry, but I'm rehearsing for this ball, and I had to come way before. She was like, a ball? Is that the extent? Is that the height of your dreams? A ball? And it kind of makes me think the way that she was saying it was maybe her student who passed away, maybe he was into balls, and maybe that was distracting him from her class and being all he can be in her class. So maybe she kind of have this sour taste in her mouth when it comes to the ballroom scene. So they're talking, and she's kind of like giving it to him in front of everybody. Everybody making little comments and rolling their eyes and stuff. And she was just like, greatness. What did she say? She said, it was very profound. She says, greatness comes from suffering. And then he was just like, oh, I don't have a lot of time. She was just like, time? She was like, none of us have any time. Once your day is coming, it's coming. And there you go, gone. It's over with for you. Nobody's remembering you. And of course, she was having all those feelings of her student that she just lost. So she was upset. I like her a lot. And the things that she was saying to Damon was true. And it was harsh also. But like I said, she was upset, so I don't really take what she's saying as, her as being a bad person or nothing, It even got to the point where Blanca had to meet up with Helena, and they talked, and she was just like, look, there's a difference between inspiration and the distraction. The ball is distracting him. It's not real life because there's instant gratification. Him being praised for something when he really don't have to put in the work like that. And Blanca was just like, wait a minute, sis, you don't know nothing about the ballroom scene. You don't know nothing about this world, how hard it is to be in a category and to fit in. And, just because you are at the balls or of the LGBT community doesn't mean that you fit in with all the kids, which is the truth. That's just a people thing, though. I'm somewhat of an outsider myself. And so, I mean, that's real talk. You have to work, for whatever in life you have to work for. But in the ballroom scene, child, it's something serious, for real. I've never been in the ballroom scene or anything, but, I'm just saying, I know what's tea and how it is. So it's very, she was just like, wait, you're not gonna come for me. And then she felt like she was coming for her mother skills, whoop to whoop. And the lady was just trying to get Blanca to understand that this is a bigger opportunity, than the ball. But what I don't think the lady was trying to understand is that the ballroom scene is not just about winning trophies and all that. It's a family. It's a group of people coming together that have nowhere else to go. They've been shunned out from the rest of the world, and so they come together and create this kind of world, inner world for themselves. Where they feel important and beautiful and strong and fashion forward and talented. The things that regular straight folks feel every single day. So she don't get that, or maybe she do. I say there's some stuff with the teacher. I'm definitely interested in the rest of the show to finding out, the teacher's story as to why she is the way that she is. Strong ass woman though, I like her. So Blanca went back to talk to Damon, and Blanca was just like, yeah. She was like, you ain't walking this ball, sis. You ain't walking the snowball. Damon went off. How in the hell can you tell me I'm not walking this ball, child? You know how much I love Christmas time and start throwing stuff. She was like, go to your room, child. He went to the room, slammed the door. She, knocking over the stove and stuff, and acting a fool. I was just like, Lord. She's really... Blanca's doing her thing. That's all I have to say about Blanca. Her role is very powerful to me. It speaks to me, darling. Okay, also Damon and Ricky, they had a roll around in the hay, in the bed, darling. I feel two kinds of ways about Ricky. I feel bad for him in a way because he don't have anybody. but a part of me feels like he's up to no good. So we gonna see, child. And unfortunately, it's looking like Damon might be sick and got them things, and Ricky being on the streets and stuff. It's a possibility that he got them things. Y'all saw them big old tall thing, that tall tree that he was talking to, trying to sleep with when Damon walked up on him last episode. I was like, what is that? She'll never be in the house, anybody's house. It's like, no, God. Thing was strong features. Okay, so anyway. Okay. So what else is going on, child? So speaking of, where do I want to go now? Let's go to Elektra, darling. So Elektra, this wench, we love Elektra. I swear, Elektra she's a bad bitch. I ain't even gonna front. She's bad. Anyway, so Elektra, she's meeting up at the doctor's office. And Elektra says she ain't been to the doctor since 1979. So that would make Elektra 102 years old. At least 87, at least. So anyway, she meeting up and talking to this lady, and she was just like, yeah, the guy that was basically in charge of taking care of transgender patients and giving them, I guess, hormone pills and all that. He been passed away, and now we kind of took it on, but it's difficult because we have so many HIV patients coming in and out, and the outbreak and everything, the AIDS outbreak. So back then they didn't have any kind of medicines or whatever like that for everybody, and a lot of people did not come into the hospital until they had full-blown AIDS or so, and there was nothing really they can do for them at that point. But Elektra hurried up and said, oh child, that ain't my story, child. I don't have them things. I ain't got the AIDS. And she was just like, I hope I'm not offending anybody out there. I'm just talking, y'all. Please. So anyway, this what, don't get mad at me. Get mad at Elektra. I didn't write the script, child. That's what she said. That's how she said it. Watch the show. But anyway, so they're talking back and forth, and basically the lady was just like, well, sis, you were on the first list to become the first one of the first people to get sexual reassignment surgery. And she was just like, what? This is what I have always wanted. And the lady was just like, yes. She was just like, well, you can meet with my nurse to see how much the coins is, how much it costs. So we get back to Elektra's home. We're sitting there with Angelica's Ross character. This the chocolate lady, and Latina Fish sitting on the I think she's Latina, maybe she's biracial, I don't know. But they're sitting on the couch. The girl who met up with Blanca last episode at the bar, and they kicked both of them out. So they're talking, and Elektra talks to them like a dog, completely. And they was talking about Christmas and whoop to whoop, and Angelica Ross' character, I still don't know her name or the other lady's name. She said that, hey, maybe you can ask your Zeddy for some money. She was just like, how dare you disrespect me like that, Elektra? How dare you disrespect me like that? I am your house mother. You have no idea the things that he puts me through, darling. He counts every cent, every pantyhose sets I buy. He takes the money, darling. He only gives me a portion for whatever. You have no idea the things I have to do to that man. I have to stick mop buckets. He likes to piss in mop buckets, darling. You have no idea the things that I have to go through when it comes to him. You would never talk to your house mother like that again. Elektra's just giving it to the girls, and they was just like, damn, bitch, all I asked you for was, did you want ketchup or mustard on your sandwich? But okay. So they're talking, and she was just like, you know what, I'm sorry, mother has issues. I just have always had bad Christmases. Please forgive me. I want to go out on the town and deck the fucking halls. So, they all wanted to have a Merry Christmas. Okay, TLC sleigh ride. So they ain't got no money naturally. So they have to go out it and steal, which is what they've been doing since episode 1, child. But hell, you gotta do what you gotta do. So Elektra, she put on her good red fur, child. And the other two girls, her children, her daughters, they went out there. Okay, so it's a Santa that's standing outside of a building. You know, he's accepting tips or whatever. Apparently, it's going to charity, etc. So one of the girls walked by and puts $1 or however much money in the bucket for Santa for the charity. Then we have Latina Fish coming down, and she accidentally, she drops her purse and everything spills out. So the police officer and Santa, they're helping her get her things to put it back in her purse. Meanwhile, we got Elektra running in the shiny ass red coat. It was nasty though. That fur, it was nasty. She had a pair of pliers in her hands. The bucket was hanging on the chain. So she runs by, clips the chain, with the bucket of money, tells Latina Fish, sis, let's go. And they flew like Usain Bolt down the block, child, and turned the corner. I hollered. The fact that you're gonna rob Santa, Elektra, in a red fur, I was done. So they ended up getting $2,300. My God. Child, I need to go to New York and hit a few high notes on the street, child. Lord, and bring it back to Spartanburg, South Carolina, and get to pay some bills, and child, gets me a good old nasty car. My God. They just giving out money away like that in New York? So anyway, they have $2,300. They all sitting there saying, ooh, girl, I'm about to have red bottoms like Trina, high heels, red bottoms. And she was just like, yeah, she was like, oh, it's gonna be everything. And Elektra, the whole time she's thinking in her head, she was just like, yeah, I can finally, afford to pay for this old nasty sexual reassignment surgery. But she didn't tell them that. She was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get y'all whatever you want. So Elektra, she takes the money and gives it to the nurse or whatever, the lady at the front desk at the hospital. It was a down payment on her sexual reassignment surgery, child. But I think we're gonna see next episode that her man don't want her to have the surgery. So yeah, child, it's a mess. It's layers, darling. It's layers to this. So that was something else. That scene made me laugh a lot. Okay, so let's get into Angel, child. Oh, and they were playing the whole time when this whole scene was happening with Elektra and the girls robbing Santa. They was playing all I know is a Mariah Carey version though, but Christmas, the sun's going down, I'm watching it fall, lots of people around. Baby, please come home. They're saying deck the halls, but it's not like Christmas at all. 'Cause I remember when you were here and all the fun we had as a year. Yeah, baby, please come home. Yes, darling, I love it. But this was the 80s, darling. Mariah came out in 1990s. So anyway, but Mariah's the queen of Christmas. We all know this. So anyway, let's get to Angel, child. So Angel, that man, Evan Peters' character, don't know his name. He finally done got Angel a key. He done bought her old nasty penthouse suite up at the top, child, looking down at the girls. She's living a high life. She's living her wildest dreams, darling. It's unfortunate that her wildest dreams had to come through a married man with kids, and he don't know. He's just living a lie. Don't know what the hell he is or what he want to be. It's rough. And they actually, for the first time, finally got it on and had sex, darling. And what had me gagging, though, was they put on my song, child. They put on Janet Jackson's Let's Wait a While. There's something I need to tell you. There's something I think that you should know. I was like, yes, God. Let's wait a while. I remember. Let's wait a while. Okay, there we go. I remember when they honored Janet Jackson on MTV, and Destiny's Child did that. Let's wait a while. Let's wait a while before it's too late. Y'all remember that? Hey, get in my life. This soundtrack, I tell you, it was every freaking thing. So anyway, moving on from that, so they had relations for the first time. Okay. So the boss, which is named Matt, my boss is named Matt, an asshole, just like this one. Matt, which is Evan Peters' boss, he been trying to figure out where the hell Evan Peters been, and you know why he taking over meetings, why he rushing in and out, why he asking for more money. What's tea? Now they already discussed last episode that it's another woman. But Evan Peters did not disclose to him what kind of woman it was. So, Matt, Evan Peters' boss, he decides to go and do a little digging because he's messy. So he actually shows up to her house. Her, meaning Evan Peters' wife, show up to their home with gifts. And Evan Peters was out with his daughter buying gifts, buying jewelry for Angel. But, well, we'll get to that in a minute. But he had to make it seem like it wasn't for Angel, it was for his wife. So Matt comes over to the house, he's talking, he was just like, yeah, so where your husband at? She was just like, child, he be with you more than he be with me. I don't know. He was like, well, I never asked him to work late hours, so where he at? Of course, they put the bug in her head that he's cheating, which is what the man wanted. So the man proceeds to try to kiss the wife, and I think he did kiss his wife, Evan Peters' wife, his boss, Matt. So I say, Lord, but then Evan Peters come in, and he gives him a hug and whoop to whoop to my. Oh, I just came over to drop off gifts. Evan Peters was just like, don't you ever show up at my house, just unannounced. Don't you ever in your white life show up to my house unannounced. And he was just like, okay. I mean, see you at work. He didn't give a damn. He's cocky. He's an asshole. So he was just like, what's she over here doing? And of course, she didn't tell him that he just kissed her or whatever. So they had a scene with the kids opening gifts. Her wife is there. Her mom is there, excuse me. And they get into it in the kitchen. She was just like, who the hell is your girlfriend? Who is your girlfriend? Whoop to whoop. And he was just like, I don't have a girlfriend. I bought these 2 gifts for you because the little girl said that daddy bought 2 gifts. And she was thinking it was for the girlfriend, but he had to play it off. I think the gifts was really for Angel, but he had to, of course, give it to her because now the gig is up. He's caught boots, right? So I was just like, Lord have mercy. I was like, it's just a mess. It's really just a mess. So he basically just had to play it off. Whole thing. I don't know how long is it. The shit gonna hit the fan once they find out that he messing around with Angel. I said that Angel's just as cute as a button, ain't she? She's sitting there baking cookies and shit, expecting for that man to come over because he said he was gonna come over on Christmas Day, but she ended up being by herself on Christmas Day. But she went on back home, but still she wanted to be with her man. She fixed herself up real nice and stuff with clothes he done bought, and he never showed up, child. It's a dangerous game, I tell you. And so there, she went back to the house. This is like the final scene. Went back to the house, and Blanca was just like, sis, get over it. You messing with a white man, a married white man with kids. Like, what do you expect? You're going to be put on the back burner many damn times. She was just like, whatever. Angel's kind of starting to fall in love with this guy, but he's really feeling Angel too. But because he is who he is, hell, he's so infatuated with her because she's her authentic self, and he kind of has to put on a front. But he's not going to leave his cushy life, for her. I ain't never seen it happen. We'll see. The show just begun, darling. I'm so excited about it. So anyway, Blanca cooking a meal for everybody. Parcell over there and the kids. And Blanca ass can't cook. They had to end up throwing the turkey. The turkey caught on fire. Had to throw it out the window. Child, it's hen cats and rats all in it. It was a mess. So they had to go out to the restaurant and go eat. Blanca, she exchanged gifts to everybody. She gave Damon some socks. She gave the little Latino boy, she gave him something. She ended up giving Ricky a gift. Now Ricky, is new to the house, Damon's boyfriend or whatever, and he was shocked about that. She gave him a watch or something, and he actually cried. He's, like I said, Ricky don't have anybody, so it was a very touching scene to see that. It really made me cry, it really did. Then she gave Angel some red pumps. Now, Angel, at the beginning of this episode, she talked about how when she was 6 years old, she saw these beautiful patent leather red pumps, and she stole a pump and took it back home. And her daddy basically slapped the hell out of her once he found out what she had stolen and the fact that she stole it, but mostly because she was a little boy and stealing a heel or whatever. Like, what you doing? You my son. So he slapped the taste out of her mouth, and that really hurt her feelings. So what Blanca ended up buying her was a pair of heels, patent leather red heels, and that was just so sweet. That just really took the cake. And her giving Parcell his gift, which was a camera, so that he can just take. He's a photographer, he's make clothing designer, all that. And her explanation to him was very, beautiful, and he cried. And Blanca's definitely fan favorite for right now. She's definitely the shit. We love Blanca. And they gave Blanca a gift, which was a necklace, a beautiful necklace. It was just a very beautiful scene. But I got a feeling, child, the show finna get real. Feelings and emotions, everything finna start to come up. It's gonna be a lot of tears, a lot of anger. It's gonna be a lot coming up, child. But this was definitely a beautiful, it ended up being a beautiful episode for sure. So that was it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching this long review, child. But y'all know Ryan Murphy films and shows is long, child. I got to talk about everything. I appreciate you, though. But that said, darling, let's wait a while. I'm Mr. Chalaki on Google+. Follow me at ItsKingsWorld on Instagram and Twitter. At ItsKingsWorld89 on Snapchat, and Chase King on Facebook. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Shout out to all the characters, the whole cast on Pose. It's everything. It's giving me my complete life. This is definitely making me feel just amazing in the crazy ass world. My personal life, child, a hot mess. But anyway, yes, shout out to James Colwell. Hey, James. We love James. Yes. Okay. So I'm about to end this video. I've been talking too much. My voice is getting raspy. I need some water. Maybe I need to call Angel so she can bring. No, I don't want them dry ass cookies, child. I need some water. Bye.